हेलो एवरीवन। आई होप कल का वीडियो आप सभी को मेरा पसंद आया होगा, तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें और इस वीडियो को भी ज़रूर लाइक करें। टुडे आई विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट द कोस्टल रेगुलेशन जोन। सी, इंडिया is having a coastline of 7,000 kilometers and its protections are very much important. So, coastal regulation zone was first issued in 1991 under the Environment Protection Act 1986. The ministry who regulates the coastal zone comes under the Environment, Forest and Climate Change. 1991 notifications came up with a definition of the coastal zone. It says that the land area from the high tide line up to 500 meter and 100 meter between high tide and low tide areas, which directly or indirectly affects creeks, estuaries, backwater, rivers, are called coastal regulation zone. See, coastal regulation zone notification is being given by the Environment Ministry, but it is regulated by the state government with the help of Coastal Zone Management Authority. Under the Coastal Zone Management Authority, the zone is divided into 4 categories. Okay, and why this zone or this category is very much important? It's because to protect ecological sensitive areas like mangroves, coral reefs, which acts as a barriers against tsunami and cyclone. As you can see in today's time, like in the last 4 to 5 years, every 3 or 4 months we have seen incidents of cyclone. So Sundarban or in Andhra Pradesh or in Odisha, these mangroves or the coral reefs has a great impact to minimize the damage brought by this cyclone. So the regulation of the coastal areas to protect these mangroves are very much important. Second, for fishing communities, up to 12 nautical miles, the fishing members or the communities have been permitted. So to improve the lives of these communities and to breed the fishing ground, we need this regulation. As we know, in times oil spill situations is happening, or you can say the drilling of carbon exploration, you can say, or the petrol exploration, which have been affecting this region, especially near the coastal region. So the protections of these region or for the fishing communities, we need this regulation. If you have heard about 1991 deal with the environment or Earth Summit or recently Paris Climate Deal, climate change is having a great impact around the coastal areas, and it has been estimated that if it's we keep on exploring or we keep on exploiting this coastal region, a time will come when the coastal areas will be submerged. The fourth and the most important, to maintain a balance between the environment and the development, or in short term we can talk about sustainable development. See, classification of coastal regulation zone in the year 1991, it says that CRZ1 ecological sensitivity area, they lie area between low and high tide. If you see in the first page, you'll clearly get the distance between the low and high tide line. So these areas between the low tide and high tide is considered as a ecological sensitive zone, and in here natural gas exploration or for the atomic energy or for extraction of salts are permitted. CRZ2, these areas are urban areas located in the coastal areas. CRZ3, rural and urban localities which fall outside the zone 1 and zone 2. In this zone, only a certain activities are permitted. from the high tide up to 200-meter zone, there is no construction, or say that no development zone is being allotted as per the 1991 notification. The fourth is the area between the tidal line and the 12 nautical miles into the sea. I'll show you this in the picture to make this clear how these zones are being divided. See, the high tide and the low tide, if you see, this region is comes under the coastal regulation zone. And the sea, if you'll see this in up to 12 nautical miles, this region, it comes under a coastal regulation zone 4. High tide and the low tide regions, it will come under coastal regulation zone 2. Now recently it has been in the news. The first, as you can see, that in the last week, in the month of February, the Supreme Court ordered the demolition of a 5 apartment complex in Maradu municipalities in Ernakulam, Kerala, for violating coastal regulation zone norms. Apart from this, they have certain amendments had been notified by the government, and in the next I'll explain you what are this notification and what are this advantage and disadvantage of this notification comparing to the earlier notifications of 2011. See, this two regulation zone I'm covering in the through diagram is that coastal regulation zone notification 2011 and coastal regulation zone notification 2018. See, in 11 there are four zones which I have already explained earlier. In 2018, what they did is divided the zone into a different part, like coastal regulation 1 and 1A. See, in 1 we have this eco-sensitive areas where no development zone is being provided. In 1A, what they did, they provided this tourism activities such as mangroves walk, tree hut, nature trails, and even the constructions of road, salt harvestings are allowed in CRZ1A. See, CRZ2, areas which have been developed up to or close to the shore. If you see this map, you'll get to know that the how the areas has been divided among the zones. Number 3, the third zone, which is divided on the basis of the population. If you see that CRZ zone A, it refers to a rural areas with a population density of 2161 square kilometer as per 2011 census. A small changes has been done. If you see in the map, this region where it says 50-meter NDZ, that is NDZ stands for no development zone. What was the earlier, if you see in this area, it was falls under 200 nauticals, 200 meter, this area, and now it has been reduced to 50 meter. Similarly, in 3B, if you see this area, it the zone of no development zone in 3B coastal regular areas from the high tide, the distance has been maintained of 200 meter. In this, the population density is less than 2161 people per square kilometer. Such areas shall continue to have no development zone of 200 meter. Now zone 4A, see 12 nautical miles. This zone, I'll see that's 12 nautical miles. It's starting from the low tide areas to 12 nautical miles. In this, they have given the permission for oil exploration, crucial for fishing, setting up of land reclamation, setting up of ports, harbor. This area they have given the permission for setting up of roads, harbors. So there are small differences or the small notification for the point of development point of view. This notification was on the, based on the recommendation of Salesh Nayak. Salish Nayak Committee, keeping in view of development. But this development has a certain implication. The implication is that by this development of this area port, it may affect the coastal or the tidal region, or you can say the mangroves, giving a permission to construct tree hut in the mangroves areas. Definitely a chance of more cyclonic activities or the devastation will increase. Even the population of these areas will lead to a degradation in the land, which will definitely affected by these high tide areas, which will wash away the source and affecting the people living there. So the government should keep in mind, and not only of in the points of development, but of the ecosystem, which is very much important for prosperous development of the not only of ecosystem but of the people. Thank you.